Yes, hello everyone and welcome to weekly Enecuum news. And in this digest, we are bringing up to speed with the latest updates from our team and projects. Joining you today, as usual, are Roman and Serge. And
Hello.
let's get started. And one more point before we start that the recording will be available in a couple of hours, but the transcript will be published tomorrow, not today, so don't miss it. And the first news, let's move on. The first news is about mobile development and about extension and iOS app, which were updated this week, and the Android app is next. So Serge, please tell us more about it.
Yes, thank you, Roman. So this week we have updated Google Chrome extension and iOS versions of PWA application. And the main reason of that update to make these wallets ready for Space Bridge. So the last version 0.6.2 supports the last and current version of Space Bridge. So it is to use Space Bridge in Bit network, you should update extension or iOS. Oh, sorry. Never mind. iOS is mobile support is not ready yet, but yes, extension should be updated. But also these updates includes several bug fixes, so it is worth it to update anyway.
Yeah, thank you, Serge. And let's move to one more piece of news about mobile development. And we are starting to work on adding the POS interface section in the PWA interface. It was requested many times by our community, so we start working on it. So Serge, a couple of words about it.
Yes, it's been a while since we announced new features for PWA. So now we work on native support for POS interaction smart contracts like staking and all methods connected with this process. So the idea is to copy functionality of a masternode application, Android APK, the good old one. So we expect it will not take much time, as there'll be a lot of copying of logic and functionality from masternode. So the main task would be to prepare user interface for these new features.
Yeah, thank you, Serge. Let's move on to the next news, and it's about the bridge. And at the moment, the latest version of it works in our test network called Beat. Also, it has been added to app.enix.space, so feel free to test it. Right now, the team is focused on finalizing the transaction history for the bridge and why it's so important and why it turned out to be a non-trivial task. Serge, please explain it to our community.
Yeah, so we encountered a problem with the approach for user bridge transfers history that we developed for quite some time, but it turned out that it is not reliable enough. So what's the problem with history? When you perform a bridge transfer, you need to interact with three entities. You need to make a transaction in one network. You need to speak with validators, and you need to make a transaction in the second network, like source and destination. So if on whatever reason you lose your state of browser, like move to another computer or delete or maybe lost internet access in the middle of your conversation with validators. So it might create a problem. It could be resolved by regathering, reading from blockchains the history from your account. So initially we thought that we will create a service that will be constantly listening for incoming for events on bridge happening in every network. The same approach was used in our first bridge that was between Ethereum and Enecuum, but only for transferring ERC20 Enq to native Enq. If some our old community members remember that bridge, so we used the same approach, but there were a problem with stability, and also old users might remember that our bridge had problems that when the service misses events. So, but we hoped that since all those years passed, Ethereum RPC services will improve their stability with so-called WebSocket connections. But turned out that some aspects were improved, but on the other hand, we now add more networks like Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, and others, and to service to listen to all these networks and guarantee that no event is missing is once again complicated task, and that's why after tests we conducted, we decided to change our approach to move this service to validator to store events that happens at the exact validator node. So this will eliminate the possibility of missing almost every event and close the problem of like deleting your browser with its history. But in case of at the moment in the process, in the moment of processing and communication, users browser client with validator, in case of failure, at that moment it still needs some protection to not to lose history in this moment, and that is the main task for us now, to make stable and fault tolerant history. So summing up, current user interface is not final that you can see now, and we work on improving it, and the main task is to make a function of recovering user history from all networks from all directions of bridge. Also, current version has states when you need to refresh the page that will be improved, and in future versions you will not be you can avoid this refreshes. It will be more fluid. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Serge, for your cool explanation. And one more time, feel free to try the bridge, and if something wrong with it, refresh your page, and if the problem is still here, please contact me or Serge and report this problem. And that's all the news for today. And we have some questions. The first question is, are you aware of the Cello project? It has gained a lot of popularity, and maybe they're trying to develop something similar, attractive. Yeah, I had analyzed this project, and I'm looking for it, and it's a really good project, and we will use some marketing not ideas, but maybe approach from their side regarding the local markets. So their starts from local markets first, and the strengths in it. So we will use some kind of similar approach. Yeah, and the second question is there any way the team could make more TikTok videos? They don't have to be long, but would provide shareable content spread amongst retail users. Yes, we will provide such videos. We will use more ads, but we will use it when we will be ready to launch the marketing. Because now we don't have big active marketing, so when we will be ready, we will use different ways of spreading our information and of finding new audience and so on and so on. So yes, we will use this video. We will make more YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. And we're changing new network thread from Meta. We will use it too. We will use practically all available ways of communicating with our audience and of finding new audience too. One more question in our chat. Yes, is there marketing and advertising after Bridge gets available? Yes, we will launch the marketing program as soon as we will be ready for it. Yes, we will have active marketing. And if there are any questions, yes, Serge.
About making more videos, my initial idea for our news was to make like live session displaying and explaining, showing software updates, like if we have new version of for example, for today we could like show you Bridge, how it works, show you Appendix Space, and make transactions with new extensions, something like this. But it turned out that it is very, very hard to make such a video to be not too long. So it's not an easy task to do. So that's why we stick with only this audio version and conversation, not demonstrations. Yeah.
Yes, and also we need some kind of not video team, but we need more team members who will do it, because we now have really small team, and all of us working on Bridge, on some of us working on marketing and so on and so on, and we don't have free hands to manage, for example, live video conversation, because to make the recording it's easy, to make it live and smooth it's quite difficult. Yeah, thank you for your questions. Serge, maybe you have something to add?
I think not. Thank you for questions. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Serge, for your explanation, and have a great weekend. See you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.